Hey everybody, Nerdy Transformed here again, and today I have another movie review, the Transformers Dark of the Moon Deluxe Class Specialist Ratchet. Now if you don't know this mold, this is the Specialist version, which this mold came out for Dark of the Moon in its normal, if you know Dark of the Moon or the movie Ratchet, he's normally green and white. This particular version is the Specialist version, which means he comes in red and white and a little bit of silver. Basically he's in G1, you could call it G1 Ratchet colors, you could call it realistic ambulance colors, call it whatever you want. He's in red and white for this version. So, take a good look. One thing that's always good about movie toys is that he does have a lot of detail. You can see, even though it's not painted well, the doors are fully molded in. The bumper is actually nicely painted silver. No red and yellow for the bumper lights, but it is silver, so I like that. Silver all along the top, except for a couple of the middle parts. Silver on the grill itself, and then the bars themselves are still gray plastic. Silver on these panels here, and a white going across with a Autobot deco right there, decal there. I'm not sure you can really see it. There you go. You can see a white Autobot logo on the silver there. And then Rescue. I'm not sure if Rescue's painted or if they left paint off to give that the Rescue symbol, but there it is. So yeah, he's a cool little ambulance Hummer. I believe in the movie he's a Hummer, so I'm gonna say this is a Hummer ambulance. So yeah, it is pretty cool looking, you know. He's got the extra tire, he's got the headlights, you know, or the, not sure what you call these, but he's got them on top, even if they're unpainted, they are detailed. This is painted like this bronze color, which is very nice. And yeah, he's really cool looking. For some comparisons, here's the Age of Extinction Hotshot. Yeah, not quite in scale. Really, Ratchet should be a Voyager. Let's see, here's the Revenge of the Fallen Brawl, or Desert Brawl. And maybe that's closer to scale. I mean, I guess he might be about the same size as a tank. Revenge of the Fallen Gears that I reviewed previously, and yeah, Gears is out of scale. Gears looks way bigger. If these guys are the same size, it might be right, but with Gears being bigger, yeah. You'd also see where people were complaining about during Dark of the Moon about toys being smaller, considering there's a 2-year difference between these two. Although Gears is chunkier, and just for one more, let's go for the Combiner Wars Rodimus, whose spoiler just fell off. Ah, quit giving me issues. So yeah, you can see that size, which, I think that's up the scale to what a car would be next to an ambulance. A little sports car, at least. So yeah, he's a pretty cool little looking car vehicle. You can see on the bottom, well, you can see the hips, and you can see the head, and you can see just a big gap. Also from the front, you can see the head sticking out. On the original Voyager that came out with the original movie, it actually had a piece that would flip over and cover the head, because they also had the head just sitting here. But this one being a Deluxe, it doesn't have that. And no, this is not the same as the Revenge of the Fallen Deluxe either. The Revenge of the Fallen Deluxe looks like crap, in my opinion at least. The vehicle mode on that one was alright, but it also had a really weird, like, when in robot mode, it looked really skinny and had, like, just car parts sticking off. This one has car kibble as well, but it handles it a lot better. But we'll get to that later. So yeah, rims are unpainted, but the wheels do spin alright. He does roll just fine, and he just looked pretty good. He also has an accessory, this gun, which is a mech tech gun, which was the whole gimmick of Dark of the Moon. Now, all this stuff that's silver, I did myself. You can see it's actually supposed to be red, and all this silver stuff is red plastic that I painted over with silver myself. I just think it gives a much better unified look. And of course, the mech tech gimmick was you pull a switch, and it would normally have stuff change, like, on the original release of this mold, it came with a gun that it came with a machine gun that transformed into a saw blade that would actually spin when you flipped it out. This one comes with like a little machine gun that transforms into, I'm not sure what this is. I want to say maybe it's some kind of EMP generator, because Ratchet in more recent years has been known for having some kind of EMP gun. And given that it has like these little electric towers on it, it kind of looks like that, but either way, the spare tire has a hole in it that you can actually peg the gun into, and it aims slightly up, but yeah, you can give him a weapon. If you want aiming forward, you can. There are panels on the side that flip out, which reveal robot kibble, but also some detail, and they also have peg holes on them, and you can now give him something like that. Oh, the panel does not lock in at all, so it that just kind of goes back and forth, but it does mean you can give him 3 different weapons if you want. Also, unlike the Voyager mech tech weapons, this one does not lock in. It just in order to keep it out in the EMP mode, you have to hold it down, which kind of sucks. I don't know why they do that. Like, why give us this mode when you can't hold it like that? Like, with the Solid Blade, I can understand, because then it would spin out and then, okay, attack over. But with this, wouldn't you want to keep it out in this mode so you could actually use it as an EMP thingy or whatever it is? I don't know. Stuff like that just bugs me. Let's get to the transformation. Transformation is pretty simple. The panels I mentioned before, you're going to want to... they are... It's not that they're tight, they're just really sunken in with the vehicle. I mean, they're really smooth with the vehicle mode. And it can be kind of troubling to get them out. Alright, that's it. Nail scissors away. If you have anything that's like really tight in there and you don't have nails, because my nails, I bite my nails a lot, I'm really bad about that. Just use some nail scissors and you can get them in, and there you go. Flip the panels out. Those don't really lock anything in, but it does help the guy and get everything start moving. Next, you're going to come to the back bumper. You're going to grab the middle of the bumper, and you're going to push it up. And you can see it separates right in the middle from the rest of it. And it comes up on this double hinge, and it also comes up with half of this, the top of the roof part. You're going to just kind of get that up and out of the way, and that lets you grab these pieces and pull them back where the top will separate there. And these will kind of just start unbending on two different hinges. I'll show you that from the inside now. You can see these are going to start forming his legs. Then this last piece comes down on a double hinge as well. And you're going to flip them around, and those will form his feet. So if you want to see where the vehicle parts are, there they are. Vehicle pieces here are now on the back of the feet. You're going to come to the top now. And this part is kind of hard because you have to kind of work the plastic past it. Because you're going to pull this part out, but these pieces are not attached to here. They're all one piece here. So to see what I mean, you kind of got to pull the grill. It's a good thing that's soft plastic, because you can see you actually have to pull a piece out from under the grill. And transferring it back is just as much of a pain in the butt, but you can actually see, there you go, you got to kind of pop the grill off a little bit. It can be kind of difficult, but it is doable. Oh yeah, also in the front, if you wanted to hide the head, you could push that part down. But it also means you have like half a grill. But you could say he's like something from Cars, where he's just like, what did you say to me? Are you talking to me? I don't know, I'm just being weird now. Anyway, once you get those pieces loose, you can see it loosens everything up under here to where you can bring them out, and they'll actually snap into place right there. Then you're going to want to start bringing the whole thing down this hinge right there, that black hinge. But once you get it about halfway down, you're going to want to grab it and just start twisting it. You can see what part of it actually twists is this grill part in front of the windshield. And it'll just start slowly twisting. And that gets the head on top. And then you can fully push the hinge down. Go ahead and grab the bottom of that grill and push it down. Kind of helps fill in that gap there. Grab the head, turn it around so he's facing forward. And you see his ugly mug. Now you're going to grab these silver parts on the back of behind the windows. You're going to pull them down and they'll unfold. Kind of see that. You can see you're just kind of pulling them down, they unfold, and those become the arms. Last thing you do is these panels, they're on hinge. These are hinged here, and they're hinged here. You're going to bring them out slightly, but then you're going to fold in this front hinge to where it kind of slips in behind the grill to kind of complete his shoulders and give him a rather solid look. And there you have it, is the Dark of the Moon Specialist Ratchet. And a normal Deluxe has the exact same transformation. Let's get his head straightened. There he is. One thing I did forget to mention about his transformation, his back kibble. So how it was originally was like this. What you can do is have it fold up on a double hinge, and then the bumpers actually in the middle of the doors are actually on a separate hinge. You see that? And it doesn't lock in place, but does hold it there to get the kibble out of the way. Personally, I don't like it because it's just kind of this big chunk that's kind of like not even attached to his butt or anything. It's just kind of hanging off. Personally, what I like to do is keep this part that's hinged upward like this, but have it down like that. Kind of give him like a turtle shell. I could customize him to a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle if I wanted to. But yeah, that's how I like to do it. It gets in the way of his legs, but I don't know, something like this, where how far it sticks out, just bugs me. But we'll leave him in this basic mode like this for now, just to show him off. So this is his robot mode, which has a lot of good details on it. A lot of it's actually brand new. A lot of the vehicle mode bits are either along the sides or completely folded up. Heck, the grill's actually completely hidden inside of him. So yeah, you actually get a lot of new details in his robot mode. Let's start with the head, which with this paint, you can see all the details a lot better than you could on the original. One weird thing is that when you move his head, it's not just his head, you also get these little side bits that are sticking off, which would normally be like the armored piece that protects his neck, but because of how he has to be, because he's a deluxe, he can't have anything complicated, so his neck protector pieces move with his head instead of his head moving inside of them. So there's that, but it looks just fine. Just gives a really wide looking neck. He is ball jointed on, not here like most toys, but deep inside on the inner part of his chest. And the ball joint, the actual ball joint is inside the shoulder bit, if you can see it in there. So that means he doesn't quite have the same movement that most toys do. But these pieces that have the ball joint in them are on a hinge, so you can get the shoulders going up. It's just really deep inside of his chest rather than on the actual shoulders. So it can look a little awkward, especially like if I do this. That does look a little awkward considering his shoulders are completely above his head now. But it still works. It gives him the articulation he needs, you know. Got the full 360, got the ball joint. It can go back a little bit because it's on a ball joint. Pretty far, actually. And like I said, there's a hinge here. The kibble also can get in the way, but you can completely fold it out if you want. You just kind of give him kibble wings. And then you have a bit more movement, and they won't clash with his head or anything anymore. But I like how this looks better. You do have a swivel right below where the shoulder, or what should be the shoulder, is. Also, because of how his shoulders are, he does actually have an extra hinge for forward movement without having to... Because most toys, you have to do this whole thing to get the arm moved forward, but this one has a separate piece that lets you just do it from there, which is pretty nice. And of course, you also have an elbow. And plus this, I guess you could call that a double elbow, so you can get his arm fully up like this. Quite a bit over 90 degrees. This elbow alone gets 90 degrees, so it's pretty good. His hands are a little weird. They do have movement, but it's just back and forth. Like, this is it. It's just wiggling. Not much, but you can technically say they are posable since they do hold two different poses. Nothing at the waist, unfortunately, even though the kibble's really not blocking it. We do get a ball joint at the hip, and it works really nice. It works like how you expect to. You'll have a slight swivel. What's cool is actually the swivel, the actual leg that swivels, is this pipe piece right here you can actually see inside the leg. You can actually see the armor swivels around it to kind of give it that effect. There you go. You see right there, it swivels pretty well. I'm just going to see if I can actually see that underneath. Let me see if I can actually get that on camera. There you go. You see it actually swivels around the pipe. I'm not sure if that's going to wear away at the detail in the pipe, but it is pretty cool to see that the actual pipe detail stays where it is while the armor swivels around it. Because of how he transforms, he does have a double hinged knee, but because of how much kibble there is, the two hinges together is what makes 90 degrees. But between the two, you can get 90 degrees, and you can get actually a pretty natural looking knee because he actually has a separate knee piece. So you can actually get a pretty natural looking neat bend to his legs. And then also because of how they were transformed, that he actually has quite a bit of feet movement. The hinge, of course, that brought down is full usable, so you can get his foot bent a bit more if you needed it. The foot itself is actually on a ball joint, so it's not much, but you can get his legs spread out pretty far. It's not a huge ball joint, but it's enough that you can actually use it for some pretty cool poses. And it also goes forward slightly, so you can get kind of like a damaged, I've been hit in the leg kind of look. Or like he's crouching to jump like a frog. Whichever you prefer. So yeah, he actually has some pretty cool stuff, and like I said, he has some cool details. Like his knees are the actual bumpers of the vehicle mode, which kind of works for me, having the bumpers of the vehicle for your knees. Same thing for the chest, having the bumper of the vehicle for your chest just kind of makes sense. It makes good armor. So yeah, those are all the details. You can see all that there. His foot's pretty detailed with like a little grill on it. The piping detail on the leg's really cool. And he just overall looks really cool. For size comparisons, here's the Combined Wars Rodimus. Here's the Revenge of the Fallen Desert Brawl. And here is the Revenge of the Fallen Gears that I reviewed previously. So you can see, yeah, he's your basic deluxe size. While his vehicle was a bit smaller than these two, he still makes it the deluxe size in robot mode. And like I said, despite some of his faults, he is a pretty cool figure. He has lots of good articulation. He has a lot of cool little details. And the red and white color scheme just really works for him. Oh yeah, and here's his gun. He just holds it. It is a little bit loose in his hand. It won't fall out, but you can see it goes side to side pretty easily. And if you want, you can add it to his kibble backpack, but it makes the kibble even worse. Personally, if you want to store his weapon in robot mode, I would say peg it to the hole in his leg. I think it just looks a lot better. It's kind of holstered to his leg. I wish it could peg into the wheel instead, so it looks like you could just grab it, but still you can kind of holster it there. And like I said, you can extend it, but there's no way to hold it in that pose, so typically I just leave it in his hand like this. And yeah, the kibble on the arm and the shoulders do clash a little bit sometimes, but it's workable. You just gotta be careful when you're moving it. And like I said, I'm gonna put that there because I think it looks better. Especially from the back, it looks a lot better from the back. Really, customize him to a Ninja Turtle, that'd be really cool. Anyway, so yeah, that's the Specialist Dark of the Moon Ratchet, and the other Deluxe from Dark of the Moon will be exactly the same. Overall, I think he's probably the best version of Ratchet from the movie verse. I personally would prefer him in a Voyager size, maybe it would fix some of his issues. But the overall transformation in vehicle and robot mode, I think, is the best out of the three Ratchets we got from the movie verse, or at least out of the Deluxes and the Voyagers. So yeah, I highly recommend him if you're into a movie. Oh, I hit the camera. That was my bad. You saw it out my window. Anyway, like I was saying, if you like the movie toys and you like Ratchet, then I'd say he's worth your time. There's this version, and there's, like I said, the original green and white version that's actually movie-accurate colors. That's the exact same figure, just movie-accurate colors, and he comes with a saw blade weapon instead, which has a lot better gimmick. But yeah, that's Ratchet. I hope you enjoyed this review. I'm Nerd Transformed, and I hope you have a good day. Take care.